Hey guys, welcome back. In this video, what you're going to be seeing is how to actually implement the concepts which we learned in the previous video. The previous video we learned like min, max, average, count, sum, like. These are the 6 keywords that you learned in the previous video, 5 of them being mathematical operations. Out here on the left, I have the questions and we'll be solving these questions in this video. So without any further ado, let's jump into the video. We'll start off with connecting our SQL command line by typing connect and the username, which is system, and we enter the password. So once it's connected, we'll first start off by creating those 3 tables. So once we are done creating these tables, we go on to solving the first question A part, which is set the person ID in person as a primary key and the person ID in project as foreign key. How do we do that is by using the alter table command. So we do that is by using the alter table command, and then we follow it by the table name. First is person, and we want to add a primary key. So we say add primary key, and in parentheses we have to give the column name. Next we go on to making the person ID in project as foreign key. We do that same using the alter table command. So we say alter table, and which table? Project table. So we say project add foreign key, and what's the key name? Person ID, and when it's a foreign key it has to reference from somewhere. You have to give that too. So we say references person ID. Yeah, we have altered the table. Now next is we have to insert the table with minimum 5 rows. I've already written 10 insert commands for each table. I'll just copy it off directly. You can go ahead and do that. Just direct copying from your notepad or anywhere would do it. So I've like inserted 10 rows in each table. So now that's done. Next is we have to find the number of employees who works under cybersecurity. When you want to find number, you use the count keyword in SQL. So we have 5 people in the person table who have their department as cybersecurity. Let's just cross check it by using the select star command. Yeah, we have 10 rows. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we do have 5 people and it's perfectly cross checked. Next is find the minimum salary of the employee who works under maintenance department. So we'll use the min keyword here. So the minimum salary is 2000. We'll cross check it again. So maintenance 5000, maintenance 2000, maintenance 6700, maintenance 9800. So 2000 seems to be the lowest out here. So for the next question, which is display the native places when number of persons are more than 5, we'll be using a keyword in SQL which is called as group by. So what it does is, as the keyword suggests, it just groups things together. And the catch we have here is you can't use a where clause after a group by. You have to use a having keyword. You say group by following this, and if you want a condition, you use the having keyword. That's what we'll be doing for the fourth question. We say select native from person. You take the whole table, but you group them according to their native places. So we say group by native. So if somebody is in India, it groups them separately. Then US, that's a separate group. So that's what this group by does. Group by native having, what's the condition we have is that the count of it has to be more than 5. So we say count of person ID more than 5. We have India as that. If you group, we have India 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. six people from India, that's a separate group. Then US, one, two people from US, that's a separate group again. And then one from China, that's a separate group. One from Singapore, that's another group. So you have like four groups: India, US, China, Singapore. So these four groups, that's what this group by native does. And then in each group, go and check the number of person IDs there are. If the count is greater than 5, display that. That's what it's happening here. Yeah, now the next question. Display the average hours spent on each product in the month of January. We go ahead and we'll be using average and the like keyword in this query. What is happening here is the question has asked us display the average hours. So for the average hours, we've select average hours spent, and from which table? From works table. And it said that each project in the month of January. So I've kept that start date is when the project starts actually. And for that start date, the data type used is date, which takes in a value of this format where you have the date followed by a hyphen, then the month in followed by the month where it's the first three letters capital and hyphen and then the year. Now I don't know how many characters are there before the month and after the month, so I put percentage and in quotes because date takes variables in quotes. Now this is what has happened in the particular query which you see here. Next is display the project details in which maximum number of people involved. So this query which we are going to be writing different from the usual ones. We're going to be using two queries, one inside another. So the sixth question, what's the question asking us to do is, it wants it to know the project details. It's like just take the project name in which a maximum number of people have involved. So what I do is I group the projects based on project name. So I put one project name one side, the other one the other side. So like that I group it, and for each group I get the count, which is the number of people involved. How do I do that? I do that by using count of person ID. That gives me the count. Now this is given, so I have the project name and the count of person ID, which is the number of people involved in each project. Now if I want the maximum number of people involved, I have to get the max of count of person ID and that row corresponding to that maximum value. So what do I do is I arrange that whole particular table, these two columns in descending order, which means the highest on the top and the lowest on the bottom based on the count of person ID. That's what order by does. So it orders these two columns based on count of person ID, and I've given it descending order. That's DASC. If I want it ascending, I do ASC, descending DESC. So that's what the inner SQL is. So I say select project name and count of person ID. So you count each project, how many people are there. You group them according to the project names, and then you order them according to the person ID in descending order. Now when it's in descending order, the topmost, which is the row number 1, will have the project with maximum number of people. That's what the outer statement does. It just says select the whole thing, but I give a condition, which is where row number is equal to 1. Now this will give me the project name and the count of person ID of the row number 1, which is the project with the maximum number of people. That's the 6th question query. Next question is display the project details which spends highest average budget. Now you can work on it similar to the 6th one. So you take a pause out here and see if you can like get to it and then watch the video. Similar to the 6th one, I've done this similar thing out here. So basically what I did was grouped it according to project names, and then for each project I took the average of their budget and I ordered both these columns in descending order. So that would give me the highest average budget, and you select the first row and you get the highest and you display it. That's what this is. So select project name and from project table, that's selected, and you group by according to project name, and then you order it according to average budget in descending order. Descending order would make the highest average budget on the top and the lowest average budget on the bottom. And now you select the row number, which is 1, and you get the highest. So that's it. That's the 7th one done. Next is display the department which gives lowest total salary. Now this is also similar to the 6th and the 7th one. Now what I said is I don't want you to show me the whole thing. I just want you to show me the department, because that's what it's asking. Display the department, right? With lowest total salary. So what I do is I take the department and the sum of the salary from the persons table. I group by according to the department, and then you order it according to the sum of the salary, this time in ascending order, because the lowest one will be on the top. That's the inner SQL. Now outside SQL is select the department from this two rows, which is department and sum of salaries. Just select the department where the row number is equal to 1. Now that will give me the lowest salary. That's it. This is similar to the 6 and the 7. Next is find the maximum number of projects started on the same date. Now this is also similar to the previous ones. So for the ninth one, I did it similar to the previous ones, 6, 7, 8. So what you do here is you take the start date and then you take the count of the person ID. So if you look at the project table, you have person ID 1, he has calculator. If you have person ID 2, he has car. Person ID 3 has watch. Person ID 4 has bike. And even person ID 6 has watch. So if you see the number of people, like the maximum number of people you can count is by looking at the count of person ID. So that's what I've done here. So you take the start date, take the count of person ID, you group it according to the start date because you want the maximum number. So start dates you group it and you order it according to the count of persons ID. So you order it in descending order, so you'll get the maximum on the top, and then you display the details where you choose the row number 1. If you look at the questions which we did 6, 7, 8, 9, what you have is you have an inner SQL. From that SQL you get some data out, and from that data which is up you filter it based on the outer SQL's small lines which I added. So that's it from this video. If you haven't understood any of it, go back, revisit, try to get it, and if you still can't get it, put it in the comments, I'll help you out. And if you have liked this video, give a like and subscribe to this channel for more such content on SQL and web development. Thanks.